It's almost made the fourth. Let me go get another one. Hurry up. What the?
Not again. Obi-Wan's gonna kill me.
So with May 4th around the corner, I thought I'd fire up a few of my lightsabers. It had been a minute. I've only been using my practice sabers, and I came to a very unfortunate discovery. So I was going through all of them. This one right here is my wife's, and when I went to go fire it up, it was dead. I figured all it needed was a charge. Go ahead and get it charged back up, and it wouldn't charge. So I took the battery out, checked the battery. The battery had discharged, but I went ahead and put it on a multi-bay 18650 battery charger. They reside inside the core, and the battery recharged. Put the battery back in. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. So I grabbed a battery out of another lightsaber that was working. Put it in here. Nothing. What the heck? I went online. I did a little research. The guts of these things are pretty much interchangeable. This is one I got off of Amazon. Has the emitter that looks like a katana. They don't even offer it on Amazon anymore from the manufacturer, but it was over a year old. Unfortunately, my wife has been going through an illness and hasn't had chance to play very often, so the thing just sat there. Several of the other lightsabers had also just sat there, but they all fired up after the battery had been fully charged. So what are we to do? So I'm going to take this apart, and I'm going to replace the core. Let me show you what we got. Bought this with my own money. Both of these, as a matter of fact. So this is not a sponsored video. I'm trying to solve a problem, and I want to pass this information on. So I bought two. One has the traditional barrel connector, and the other one has a USB-C. That is really the only difference between these two modules. I'm not a big fan of these barrel connectors. Not a fan at all. We're going to see if it fits. So I'm going to take you over there to my workbench, and we're going to take apart a lightsaber and replace the core. See if that doesn't fix our problems. All right, so here we go. There's our saber, pommel, emitter part 1, emitter part 2. That's part of the core right there. So there's our core. That's the beginning of it anyway. So we have to finish taking this apart. Fortunately, this model completely unscrews. There's our problematic core and the battery. The one thing I don't like about this model is I can't change the battery out without removing a core. This is a 2mm Allen wrench. Let's start with the ones here. See how that barrel connector starts to recess. One more. Okay. Wiggle, wiggle. And there's our core. Now be careful. Without those screws there, there's not much holding them there. See how I can just pull on that? Those screws are actually keeping it flush with the rest of the device. All right, so I have the battery out. They are marked with different part numbers. Just bring them in here. Type C. This one right here is our Type C that we want to use for this one. There we go. Product manual. Allen wrench and spare screws. They are nice enough to send you a cable. And here is our core. Oh, wow. They even send it with a new battery. is a button top where this is a flat. So let's just do a side by side here. Let's take a look. So for starters, the replacement is longer. That could be a factor in all of this. If it's longer, maybe it won't fit. I wanted to show this up close for a reason. This is the one that came with the new Saber. It's a button top. So not all 18650s are made the same. Button tops and flat tops are made differently. So negative, positive, here's what happens when you try to put one in. That's not a button top. That's a problem. That means the rest of my 18650 batteries aren't going to work. Another thing the instructions warn right off the bat is to fully charge the battery before use. So I'm going to take this and slap it on one of my bay chargers. Okay, so a couple of things I want to point out. We're going to take a really close look at this thing. This is the module with the USB-C in it. I had to take it apart. And here's the reason why. These standoffs right here and here were missing. Here's the same company's model with the standoffs in there. The only difference is this is a barrel connector. This one is a USB-C. And so the barrel connector one has the standoffs. You can clearly see the brass right there. They were missing on the USB-C. So I went ahead and took the broken unit and tore it down and removed the standoffs from the board that controls the power charger. Went ahead and took it apart, then went ahead and put them in here. On the model, this rests inside of here. So I have to very carefully, without pinching any wires, snap it back into place. Okay. Very gentle. All these wires are super soft. As with any other electronics, if you haven't played with electronics before and this is your first time, be very careful. This plastic shell is simply held in by 2 screws. One here and one here. Careful not to put it in there sideways. And don't over crank. Okay. So now, when I go to put this in, I'll be able to thread into these standoffs, which will pull the control board forward into the chassis. Let's see what it looks like. All right, so the way this chassis is made, there's going to be a problem getting the battery in with the chassis already on the core. So if you don't mind a little DIY work, all of this is doable, and if it all pays off, we will have another working unit. All right, so battery's fully charged. You have to be so super gentle with these. All right, it's in. You don't want to push the button in here. Not smart, tell you from experience. So, get our 2mm Allen wrench. Okay, now that lines up how far back that is recessed, but I guess it's better than a non-working one. It is deeply recessed. That's actually looking better than I expected. Let's finish doing some assembly, shall we? All right, it's on, it's powered on. That button is recessed but reachable. You can get the USB cable in that it came with. Press and hold. Turns off. I'm going to hold it after turning it off and see if it shuts all the way off. Yep, that's the way it's got to be done. To turn it off, keep holding until that light goes out, and then that functionality is shut down. All right, so we got the Saber fix that we were intending on fixing. We'll see how this works out. Flash on class seems to be working. That particular hilt in that color is no longer available. So I wanted to preserve it. Now, if you go online and you look at the price, regular price is $69.99. Sometimes you'll catch it on sale for like $55 or something like that, like it is at the time of this recording. But the thing about it is, I paid $100. I paid 120. I'm already almost halfway there. If that's the case and you don't like the hilt and you're looking at an opportunity to upgrade, don't buy a new core. But if you like your hilt and you want to try to preserve the hilt because it plays well into your character, and maybe you are interested in buying another lightsaber, but not right. This is not a review of this particular product. DAMIENSABER is not something I'm super familiar with. I've only just now replaced these. I have not had them field tested. I haven't had any time to come up with any kind of judgment of this particular product, but it's the only one out there on Amazon for a replacement core. If you're wanting to preserve the hilt and you don't want to spend more money than you spent on the entire saber, you can go do your research. I'm presenting you with one option that I found. It is on Amazon. It did fit into two different models from two different manufacturers, and it works. Just installed it, haven't field tested it, but I was able to turn it on and it works. It's almost May the 4th. I just want you guys to have a great day. If you enjoy Star Wars fan films, then head over to Michelle C. Smith's YouTube page. She is releasing on May the 4th the first live action Asajj Ventress fan film. She's worked with a costume designer and got it all set up. Should be a blast. She's one of the most awesome people and someone I follow because I respect her as a creator. Not to mention her skills are just kick-ass. Thank you for watching. I appreciate you being here. May the 4th be with you always.